Hello, Gaming Dad 56 here, coming back with another mod showcase. And as I was showing off the AGI pack in that first video, it occurred to me I'm sitting here using Easy Development mod, Easy Development controls, and I'm not even showing that off to you guys. So let's cover Easy Development controls today, and also one other mod that's pretty easy, so we'll cover it as well. Easy Development controls is a mod I have seen, and I know that many YouTubers use, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out that many just normal game players use as well, because it just allows you to do so many things, and it's really useful for getting things set up if you're going to do a series, or if you just are trying to set up a new farm. A lot of times if I want to set up a new farm and I don't want to go through the process of doing it all manually, Easy Development controls is what I'm going to use. So real quick, when you install Easy Development controls, one of the things you need to do is go in and create a keybind for it, all the way at the bottom. I have a bunch of other mods in my mod folder, so that's why they're showing up in here. However, I do not have them activated in this Let's Play. For these for these videos, I am only enabling the mods I'm talking about, so there's no conflicts, and that there's I don't have as much to scroll through. But the Easy Development controls. Oh, there we go. Open menu. This is the keybind you are going to want to set for sure. Delete objects might be something you want to set as well, depending on how you end up using this. And obviously there's a couple other keybinds there. I obviously don't use very many of these. I do occasionally use delete objects, so I have that keybind set. But this is the big one, open menu. Okay, you want to set that so that when you hit the button, you can pull up this menu. This menu basically gives you access to the console commands. You could do most of what you can do in Easy Development controls by typing it into the console here as well. But you have to know what the console commands are. You have to type it out exactly correctly. You have to know the format of it and what arguments you need to put in there to make it work. It's just a pain. Easy Development controls makes this super simple. So right from here, I'll show you some of the things you can do. I'm not going to cover this super in depth, but I want to show you some of the more common things that I use from this menu. Obviously, add, remove, or set money. When you are getting ready to start a series or just a new game, you may want to set your money. You may want to be able to buy a bunch of equipment or whatever. I've obviously done that here because I have almost $500 million in my bank account. I used the add money feature to be able to do that. Extra timescales on or off. This allows you to set timescales greater than the base game. So let's turn it off. If we increase our timescale, we can go up to, in the base game, 360x. Okay, 360 times faster than real time. If we turn this on, we can go significantly faster, but we can also go down to 0, which means time does not progress, but you can still play the game. I find that it's like pausing the game, but still being able to play. Very cool. But we can also go up above 360, 500, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, and that's where it stops at 60,000x. Now I'm going to go more because we are in the middle of the night, and I don't want to be in the middle of the night. There we go. So, very cool ability to change your time scales there. Allows you to fast forward through time if you want to do that. Things like that. And obviously there's a stop time button, so if I was on a time, I can hit stop time and it just takes me to 0. Okay, I'll turn some time back on, just very slowly. Flight mode, obviously turn flight mode on and turn flight state on, and that allows you to fly up in the air and move around. Okay, that's very useful for getting screenshots or just moving across the map very quickly. HUD visibility does what it says on the tin, turns your HUD on or off. Very good for taking screenshots if you want to do that. You can also turn off a input up in the menu for toggling the HUD on and off. Did I not do that? HUD visibility on, HUD input on. there should be a key for turning the HUD on and off, but I haven't set it, so I guess it doesn't work. Okay. Delete objects. This will allow you to just delete things. Okay. If you go up to an object like a bale or something like that, you can use the delete key, whatever you assigned it as, to just get rid of the object. Comes in handy sometimes. Teleport. You can do map selection or type in XYZ coordinates, or you can teleport to various locations. Map selection is nice because then you can just pull up your map and teleport wherever you want. So I'll just go to the store real quick, and here we are at the store. There we go. Okay. That's the main stuff I use here, but you do also have the option to change your FOV angles, quality, show collectibles, etc. So this is like how it shows it on the map and things. And a few other things here that I don't tend to mess with because I don't know exactly what those do. So if anybody knows exactly what these things do, please feel free to share with us in the comments. Some other ones, super strength. Use this all the time. It makes it so you can pick up very heavy things and move them around how you want. Sometimes you just need to do that to either save yourself time or headache or whatever. Very, very nice feature there. Jump multiplier, as you can imagine, it's a jump multiplier, allows you to jump very, very high. Third person view, I never use, but it is there. Wood cutting marker. Let's see, we probably have to buy a chainsaw for that, don't we? Chainsaws would be in here. Okay, turn it on. There we go. And let's spawn us a log. Something else you can do, obviously, you can spawn things. There we go. I am not allowed to cut this tree. Well, I don't know why. But the wood cutting marker is supposed to give you a marker that you can use when cutting. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I don't do a lot of forestry, and I've honestly never played with that, but there you go. So get rid of the noisy chainsaw, delete the log, because, yeah, I don't want to see it anymore. There we go. In this sort of player menu here, other things, aim marker, running multiplier, that just makes you run faster. You can crank it all the way up to 14x, in which case you move very fast, and you can turn it on or off. Very useful there. And then a running multiplier key, which allows you to just turn on or off the running multiplier with the key press instead of coming into the menu. Okay. Debug information, I never use this, but it is there. I wouldn't have any idea what to do with it, even if I did turn it on. So if anyone wants to explain to us how that works, again, put it in the comments for us. Objects and fill types. This is a very useful one. You can add bales. You can add all kinds of bales. You can add pallets of various things, logs. You can tip to triggers, tip to ground. It won't let me do tip to ground here because I don't own the ground, but tip to ground can be quite useful if you want to, for whatever reason, spawn yourself in some wheat or manure. I often use it to do manure. There you go. You can just tip something straight to have a bunch of it. Okay. And then if you don't want that, you can clear tip area, which gets rid of that big pile of stuff. Sometimes I use clear tip area to clear up grass and things that didn't get picked up in the forage wagon or in the baler. Show bale locations, pallet locations, those things do what they say. It'll show you where the locations are on the map. Tip collisions, we turn that on. We can see a little grid coordinate system of where our tip collisions are. Okay. And then remove bales, pallets, logs, and stumps. Those are somewhat useful if you have a lot of bales. Obviously, it can drag down your memory. Pallets, logs, all of that can do the same thing. And then stumps, if you don't want to go around grinding your stumps or you have stumps you can't find for whatever reason, you can use the remove stumps tool and it will do it. The next menu we need to be in a vehicle for. And yeah, this will work. We'll attach something to it, because that's the best way to look at this menu. The vehicles menu, reload a vehicle, allows you to sort of reload the i3D file for the vehicle. It kind of resets things for the vehicle, and that's about all I know about it. Analyze vehicle, no idea really what that does. So again, if you know what those do, please feel free to enlighten us. And then when you get down to this fill level here, this is something I use sometimes, especially when I'm setting things up or when I'm doing testing. But it's important to have the right thing selected. This is already full. So if we go back into the menu, we make sure we have the seeder selected, and we go into our menu, we can go to empty, emptied out, and now you notice there's no seed in there. And then if we go back to fill, we can fill it with whatever. Now this is a seeder, so it only holds seeds. It only has one place to fill, which is the seed box, and it only holds seeds. So it's not giving us a lot of options here. But if we hit fill, we'll fill it up. If we hit set, we can type in a number, and we can put that much in there. Okay? If we go to something else, like our trailer, and we go look at this menu, now we have many more options. It still only has one fill unit, but this trailer can hold just about anything. So in that case, we could fill it with basically whatever we want. Toggle cover. I should, there we go. Take the cover on and off. Nothing too crazy about that. Dirt state. The condition of the vehicle, you can make it very dirty. There you go. You can set the wear. So wear is like the paint condition, and the damage is the damage that's done to it. You can set those. And now you'll see in the lower right hand corner here, my maintenance bar is down in the orange. If I want to reset that, set it to 0, damage is to 0, and I can set wear to 0 as well to fix all the paint. And I'll leave it dirty because, I don't know, I think it looks cool when it's dirty. You can also adjust your fill level. Empty, fill, set. Same choices as over here. It's just talking about fuel in this case. All right? These things over here, I don't generally mess with ever, but if you were, let's say, starting a series or starting a new game and you wanted to have old used equipment, like this equipment is old, but it has 0 hours on it, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If you wanted to start your series and maybe be a little more realistic, you could put some operating time on this machine. We'll say 15 hours. And now if we look down in the lower right hand corner, we see this machine has 15 hours on it, which makes a difference to the maintenance and the costs and all that kind of stuff. So something very interesting you can do there. Global wiper states, I never ever mess with this, but you can set them so they're either on all the time or they're the normal setting, which is rain sensor. And then again, these ones I never mess with any of the debug stuff at all because I have no idea what it does. All right, placeables. This is a pretty cool one. With the placeables in FS22, you can actually change things about them from the menu. So let's play around with this a little bit. You can switch the main thing from farm owned to NPC owned or current trigger. Okay, so if you were in a trigger of one of the placeables, it would sort of let you do that. Farm owned, we don't own anything, so nothing's showing up here. And all of these NPC owned. Now these set owner, my farm, and now what that did, it took every NPC owned production and made it ours. So you can see we now own every production on the map. I don't really want that, so we're going to send them back to the NPC. As you flip through here, though, you'll notice PP1, PP2, all the way up to, on this map, I think PP10. Okay? Those are specific production points. Now, the downside is you don't really know what they are. That's where this comes in handy, because PP1, it'll tell you, is the biogas plant. PP2 is the bakery. So we can now set these. Let's go to PP2, the bakery. We are going to make that ours. Okay, so now go back into the productions list, and we own the bakery. It has nothing in it. Both productions are active, but there are no materials in it. So let's go back to here real quick. We can set our state. Bread production on or off. Cake production on or off. Or all productions on or off, depending on what you want to do. We'll turn them to off. And if I go back in there, now you'll see they are inactive. So that's pretty cool. If we go back in again, we can output mode. Again, which production are you talking about? What output mode do you want it on? You can do all that from here. Now, I don't know that that's super useful. I never really used this aspect of it. But for whatever reason, if you did want to change the fill levels of some of these things, that could be quite useful. Inputs or outputs. And then, of course, you can flip through the various ones. Milk. In the case of the bakery, you have all those different ones, and you can fill it, empty it, or set it to a certain level using either liters or percent, which I actually find quite useful. So we'll set the milk to 50%. There we go. Go back to our bakery production screen, and we see here milk is set to 50% of its capacity. Pretty cool. So just a way that you can play around with those productions. Again, if you're trying to set up a game or set up a Let's Play, or for whatever reason, if you need to manipulate the productions, you can do that from here. I have no idea what delivery mapping does. I assume that if you have a production point set to deliver to something, well, let's check it out. What is the grain mill? Here we go. PP8. Okay, we're going to set PP8. We'll find out together. We're going to set that to be owned by us, and we are going to set output mode to distributing, which means it should send the flour to the bakery. Okay? And here we see grain mill is distributing flour to the following production points. Bakery. Transfer cost per 1,000 liters tells you right there. That's pretty cool. So now we know that that is working and how much it's actually going to cost us. Very interesting there. Debug, you guys know by now, I don't touch the debugs. Test areas and placement conditions, I never mess with these either, or any of this stuff. Obviously, remove placeables and map placeables. Those things are probably going to remove things. I tend not to mess with those. Fields and farmland. Oh my gosh, do I use this one all the time. Now, this is actually an improvement over FS19, which had a similar mod. It might have even been called Easy Development Controls, where you could do this. But this version, if you are in a field or right next to a field, it will show you when you pull this up which field you are on. So if I set field fruit, that means it's going to let me change some things about the field and also determine what fruit is in it, what crop is in it, and what growth stage it's at. But it'll automatically default to the field that you are in. That is so useful, especially on a map that has like 90 fields. You don't want to have to flip through all these. Just go to the field you're interested in and do it. Very, very cool. So, in here you can set everything you want about a field. What is the ground layer? Meaning, what is the sort of texture that's on top of the ground? Fertilizer, manure, things like that. Okay? Does the field have weeds? Yes or no? And what type of weeds do you have? Okay, you can choose from all of that. Does it need rolling? Yes or no? Do you own the farmland that this field is on? You can set that right here, and it doesn't actually charge you for it if you choose yes. Okay, again, another good way to set up a save game. Which crop do you want in there? So let's set this to corn, because that'll be quite different. And what other states is the field in? Is it fertilized? Yes or no? Has lime been spread on it? Meaning, are you going to get that bonus? What state are the stones in? What growth stage is the crop in? Okay, has it been plowed or not? Are you going to get that bonus? Has herbicide been sprayed on the field or not? Obviously, if yes, then weeds are not going to grow, so that's pretty useful. And has the stubble been shredded, which is another bonus that you can get. So we click confirm on that. Whoops. What did I set it as? Oh, harvested. Ha. Okay. Well, there you go. It worked. You saw it. So it's 100% fertilized. It's all ready to go, except it's also been harvested, which is not really what I meant to do, but that's okay. So very, very cool. A nice way to be able to set up fields, again, for a new save game if that's what you want to do. Similarly, you can set field ground. This does a lot of the same stuff. You'll notice a lot of the same menu or choices in here. However, it doesn't determine the crop. So you can't put a crop in with this. But you can set it to a different state. So plowed, yes. Stubble shredded, no. Herbicide, no. Weeds, we'll say there's small weeds on here for whatever reason. I have no idea. Stones, ground layer. Let's go ahead and put manure down on it just to see what that looks like. And it needs rolling. So if I hit this, it's going to close it, and we'll see this field now that looks like this. Okay, stones, manure texture on it, and all that. Okay. So that's what those two things do. Those are by far the ones I use the most. If you have vines, you can set the state of vines as well. Should we go ahead and take a look at that? We probably should, shouldn't we? So how do you do vines again? I don't even remember because this is not something I do very often. Orchards, vines. Let's set us up some vines. Oh, we can't plant this fruit in this time. Well, that's annoying. Do it anyway. Oh, well, it won't let us. But anyway, in there you can alter things about the vines. Weeds, field stones. You can advance the growth periods. And as it notes, it's only available when seasonal growth is set to no. But you can just advance the growth by doing that. You can also set the growth period to a certain time. So maybe if I set the growth period to March, which is going to make my game be all weird. Okay, because now we're in November, but the growth state is set to March. I should be able to now go in and place... Oh, no, it won't let me because the actual time is not set. It's still November. So you know what? Let's go change it. We can do that with easy development controls. We can, before we go to that, we can set our farmlands or fields and the owners of them. All or specific ones. Okay, so that just sets you or NPC as the owner. If you're in multiplayer, you have the various options for other farms in there as well. Okay, debug stuff, obviously, I don't do debug stuff, so we're not going to worry about it. But in the environment tab, one of the last ones, we can actually set what part of the year it is. So I want it to be in March. We can also set weather and things like that, add snow, remove snow, etc. We're just going to change the time. And you can see now it is in March. And hopefully our growth is also in March. There we go. So now we should be able to go in and do the vine. See, we learn as we go. Can I place a vine? Yes. Can I snap to the actual angle? Toggle snapping on. Off? That's definitely off. Okay. I have no idea. Close enough. Whatever. That clearly wasn't straight, but oh well. So there we go. Vines here. Grapes. It's the only ones we have. What state are they in? Obviously, it's like changing the state of your fields, but just the vines themselves. There we go. So this is really good. A really good mod, like I said, for either setting up a new save game, whether you are doing like YouTube stuff or whether you just want to set it up for yourself, or if you do a lot of testing. And I do a lot of testing, which has not featured on this channel, but it will in the future. And this makes it so easy to do. So easy development controls, great mod if you want to sort of have this level of control over your game. While we are here, I told you I would show you another mod, and you can actually see it in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, the additional field info mod. So the additional field info mod just gives us more information about our fields. It just expands on the normal sort of information that was included about the fields. It shows us additionally the area of each field in the current land and the current land area, the price per hectare or acre, depending on what setting you have your game on, of the cultivated area, and the potential harvest quantity and yield on ready to harvest fields. So if I go, I don't have any ready to harvest fields. We'll just run over here to this one real quick. I should have the running multiplier on. That would make this much quicker. If we hop into here, we can see this is soybeans. It's ready to harvest, and it has a potential harvest quantity of 3,417 liters, okay, and a potential yield of 2.33 tons per acre. Okay? I also like that it shows you the price per acre of fields. Very nice. So this is just an expansion of some of the information that's displayed in the base game in that little lower right-hand corner field info area. It just gives you more info. So very, very nice little mod there to know about your fields. So that's episode 2 covering the easy development controls mod, which I use all the time. It's pretty much always on anytime I'm playing Farming Simulator, and the additional field info mod. I hope you guys enjoy. If there's anything in here that I said wrong or that you can add to this, please put it in the comments, because like I said, we're all trying to learn these mods together. These are some great mods I want to make sure you guys are aware of, and maybe you can use them in your games, but I also want to make sure we know how to use them. And I don't know everything about them, so please, if you know information that I don't, please share it in the comments so that we can all learn. And I will see you guys next time.